Hey, do quick comparison video on the Streamlight. This is the new one, the Streamlight Protac 2.0, the rail mounted. This is the latest offering by Streamlight. Has a couple new features like having a pressure pad capable tail cap with a redundant push button. So this gives you similar function to the Surefire DS00 switch, but it's already built in. This comes with it. This only comes with this single tail cap, so keep that in mind. That you are dedicated to this system, because it's obviously not going to fit any other Streamlight products. This is the HLX, but you are dedicated basically to having that pressure pad with redundant buttons. So it does give you redundancy if you plan on running a Surefire pad or just any light pad, but the button is going to be much smaller. It is shielded, so that's a nice feature, but just for me personally, I'm not a pressure pad person, so I'd rather have a full-size button like in this HLX, but that is not an option for me. That is something you should consider. One thing I'm seeing immediately is the size. This is a much longer, this is a much thicker, and it's also a much heavier system. What the advantage this has is the lumen output. This is 2,000 lumens. This is 1,000. This is the HLX. And like I said, this is the Protac 2.0. And you get a higher lumen output. You get double the lumen output, but it comes at a penalty. The penalty is candela. This is coming in at 17,600 candela, and this is about 21,600. So you're getting a higher candela output with the HLX, but this seems to be intended as a floodlight. Would be really good if you have something maybe like a home defense carbine, or if you had a shotgun, something that you really wanted a high amount of flood and high amount of lumen. Candela output is appropriate for a long gun. It's not like it's nothing, 17,600 candela is a lot, but it's definitely not going to punch out there. It's going to be a lot of flood. This takes a different kind of battery. This is Streamlight's SLB50, which is kind of their proprietary design from my understanding. I'm not a big battery person, but my understanding, this is only Streamlight's. It locks in. You notice how there's a groove at the end, and it interfaces with a corresponding groove in the light. So you just have to put your light in and then twist it until it falls into place. There it is, and then you put your tail cap on. So if you want, you can quick swap batteries, or you can just leave it in, and it does have a rechargeable port that is accessible while it is still here. So that's a nice feature. It's nice that you can quick swap the battery if you need to, if you have more than one, but you can also just charge it directly if you have that time and convenience to do so. It is O-ring sealed, and it takes a good bit of pressure to overcome, the seal. So I'm pretty confident in that design. Probably not a bomb-proof design, but I think it's pretty good. So what do I think? I think that this has a very specialized output with the pressure pad and the redundant button, the size, the weight, the flood only. I think this light is primarily designed for the specialized, I can only imagine maybe like a shotgun or home defense rifle. And my recommendation is to go with the HLX for most things, because this is a very good budget light. It's about $100. Very good performance. I especially like it with 18650s, and the HLX is not a small light. I'll show a picture comparing the size compared to another model light, which is a full-size light. And you can see that this is not a small light. The bezel is very big. The tail cap is very big. It's not small. And if you compare it to the HLX, which this is not the greatest comparison because we're just comparing length, comparing thickness, like, oh my, you can definitely see that as well. But Yeah, my recommendation is just use the Protac 2.0 if you need a very specialized light. If you plan on having a pressure pad setup, if you plan on needing a floodlight setup, that this is a good option for you. But I would say it's more of a specialized light and not a do-it-all. So let me show you a output at night. I'll show you side by side with the Streamlight 2.0 and the HLX. First off, we're testing the Protac 2.0, the rail-mounted 2000 lumens. Got a target at 25. It's the white USPSA target. In the back of the berm with all the trees at the end, or about 50 yards. So can clearly see everything. In fact, I can see the target and just about everything beyond it. 50 yards, no issue in pitch darkness. Next, we're testing the HLX, 1000 lumens. Has a little bit more candela, so this will be better at distance, but it's only just a bit. And notice how the spill, it's much less. And so if you want to see where the trees are, you're going to actually have to move the light compared to the flood of the 2000 lumens where it lights up the whole tree line. Protac 2.0 HLX. Just wanted to focus. Let's try this way. HLX.